Look, it's obvious, right? President Biden's not that popular with certain Democrats. President Obama still is. Same with W, is more popular right now than Trump was at times, on and on and on. This would be the question. He's going to Michigan. Okay, in 2016, when Hillary Clinton dispatched him to Michigan, same scenario. He said, if I'm going to Michigan, we got real problems. Is that history repeating itself?
Well, I think one of the things is, Gretchen Whitmer has a pretty solid lead on Tudor Dixon, who, of course, believes that adolescent girls who get raped by family members should be forced to carry babies to term. But I think one of the things is that they've got to hammer that message home, because that race is getting tighter. It's only 5 points. It was 10 points a little while ago. And the important thing is going to be a lot of these gubernatorial races, these Secretary of State races, and that's where he wants to hammer it home. And Gretchen Whitmer, if we lose Michigan, it's going to be a real problem for Democrats come 2024, and of course,
right, but the fact that
2022.
The fact that President Obama is coming off the bench, just you and me talking here, right? It tells you Democrats are worried.
No, I don't think it necessarily says that, but I think we should be concerned. I mean, of course, presidents during their first term generally lose lots of seats in the House and in the Senate. We saw what happened with Trump. He lost 40 seats. We saw what happened with Obama, who I think lost 60 in his first term. So again, they should be concerned, and a lot of these races could go either way, whether we're talking Michigan or Arizona or Georgia or Ohio or Pennsylvania. These are really important races, particularly for the president's agenda moving forward. So you pull out all the stops. Anybody
you pull out all the stops, right, and you put ego aside in the sense that if President Obama is more popular, you send him out, and if President Biden isn't, he stays home. Speaking of Pennsylvania, John Fetterman, who had a stroke earlier in the year, clearly still has some real issues speaking and hearing and listening. He's debating next week, and ahead of the debate, he had his doctor put out a note. And the note basically says he's got some issues hearing and talking. Overall, Lieutenant Governor Fetterman is well, shows strong commitment to maintaining good fitness and health practices. He has no work restrictions and can work full duty in public office. Sincerely, Clifford Chen. A quick check of record shows that Clifford Chen is also a major donor to the Lieutenant Governor's campaign for the United States Senate. It kind of feels Trumpian, right, to put out a letter from your campaign, from somebody who donated to your campaign?
Well, I think it was in the name of transparency. I don't know. I can't speak on whether Clifford, Dr. Clifford is a board certified doctor, and if he's an honest doctor. We know Ronnie Johnson, I think it was Ronnie Jackson, I'm sorry, President Trump's doctor, had political ambitions and all of that. Sounds like this guy is a physician.
Yeah, he's an internist, certainly not a neurologist, which is what you'd need to talk about the stroke conditions. But still, Ronnie Jackson came out to the White House podium. He answered questions. Also, the president's doctors, when President Trump had COVID, they came out and answered questions. No, they did. I was there. They were firing questions away.
I'm not arguing that they didn't do that, but now there are new details coming out from these new books, including from some people who are in the White House who say that former President Trump, was far sicker than those doctors.
Fine, but either way, they came out and answered questions. Don't the people of Pennsylvania deserve the same thing from John Fetterman's doctors? If he's got nothing to hide, why not put his doctors out there?
Well, he's not an elected official yet, but
Professor, that's just not true. He happens to be the lieutenant governor.
That is true.
Thank you.
I will take that back. He's not a senator yet, but I will say this. I think that, if that's what voters want, and I don't think that's what voters are really concerned about. Voters want to know, what are you going to do about a national abortion ban? What are you going to do about our economy? What are you going to do?
Well, but part of the problem is that when he's asked about those things, he can't articulate it sometimes.
But I think one of the things is he has issues with auditory processing.
Well, we don't know that, though. We don't know if it's cognitive processing, too, until we talk to his doctors. Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.